Margaret Hodges is a local artist and writer who has worked in Newbury since the 1950s. Her second collection of poems, entitled Lookin' Both Ways, was published in July this year, 2021. A short selection of poems from the book is read here by Dave Parker and recited by Margaret, who's visually impaired. The book is available on loan from Newbury Library.
Time after time. Time? There is no time, yet this is the time. Early work is gone, the necessary, the not to be denied, collected, collated, passed on. Freedom now to linger, to caress, to choose for pleasure. Time to look, maybe to find, to be a little kind. Not before time. At this, the end of my time, another beginning, timeless. Cusp. Over the boiled eggs and steaming coffee, I see that spring has come. Cut from winter jasmine after the flowers dropped, the long slender wand, curving towards its tip, is showing signs of opening into leaf. But not quite yet. The pregnant swellings cling so close along the stem. That clean calligraphic line is barely disturbed. This moment is suspended, poised. May it stay clear and bright in the mind's eye.
The Bone. Dug up by local builders at a site near Newbury, it was purported to be a mammoth's tusk. I wrote to the Natural History Museum in London, the one with all the bones and educational displays. They did not demur. They didn't want our bone, but they gave advice. Soak it in preservative resin. No bath we could contrive was large enough, so brushful after brushful, the sticky sustenance was coaxed into the brittle segmented patterning, attacking the bone's ancient length. The curve, harmonious and powerful, is virtually complete. Its missing tip predicted by the natural path and diminution of the girth. The shallow scoop, which housed attaching ligaments, is sculpturally returned, to meet a once existent body. Later, we saw a similar relic in St Mary Redcliffe, Bristol. Its history spoke of finding this whale's rib. Our local find was brought to view in the mid-1950s. By chance, I've become the custodian of the bone. It hangs suspended now against a white wall in a covered passage leading to my home. The bone is subtle, simple, mind-engaging. I'm known as an artist. Why then have I not drawn it? This bone has its own autonomy. Mute, it can speak for itself. Tusk or rib, the bone is one of Earth's wonders. It has no need of my interpretation. I swept the studio floor. I swept the studio floor today. An artist tutor told me years ago of how each day he made the journey to his studio. He could not always paint. Sometimes the muse was absent. Still he went. He opened blinds, caught up with tasks, reviewed the work in progress, perhaps just swept the floor. Contact was maintained, spirit revisited. My life changed. Urgent needs invaded personal space. my personal working place, became a store. Now, a small spring has welled, a breath of air squeezed through. I mount the stair to what I called my ark and smiled. I swept the floor. The hospital paintings. They're still there, the paintings. The hospital is small, modern in design. The spinal corridor is wide, high-walled one side, top-lit from sloping roof above. And here they are, 5 paintings by one artist, a body of work. 2 paintings by another artist flank the central group, bright, starry without banality. These 2 meet and greet. The 5 are more surprising in this place. Uncompromising shapes and close-edged bands of colour activate tonalities, invoke emotion. This needs time. Those who pass here are on their way to clinic, car park, admin offices. I stand and look. But then, some 15 years ago, I made these paintings. Half forgotten now. By chance I walk this corridor again. What do I see? What can I learn? These paintings have integrity. They chart both passage and a situation no longer mine. They're inhabited by time.
Age. He sits. I pass the open door a myriad times, engaged with household tasks. The washing, emails, now a leaking tap. He sits upright, sunlight catching his old tweed coat, looking along the street, looking. As I pass again, my heart is caught by the lone figure sitting, watching the sky, the birds, hands folded, thinking. I iron. The blue shirt beneath my hands fills with the image of the lone figure sitting, looking, thinking.
Borrowed landscapes. Distance lends enhancement to intimacy, sometimes by chance, inadvertently. I'm thinking of planned vistas in Japan, those plots designed by minds ingenious, each detail scrupulously scaled to lose the gap between infinity and close-up. Outspreading from some hub, pavilion maybe, whose windows frame directed views to the horizon. Each stone, each rill or waterfall, each contoured curve of bush, and every branch of tree disposed in cadenced harmony to complement and gesture to the far away. Now we enter, joining native birds and insects to animate this art-full place. Our feet are led by cunning paths to happen on selected works of man-made art that both surprise yet are most perfectly at home. And whilst our senses are enwrapped in these embracing spaces, we know expansion and perspective are at hand. On loan from distant land and cityscapes that amplify and seem integral to the wondrous garden.